Okay, now that we have the sound back on, let's talk a little bit about 3D sketching with this beautiful weather. It's been raining. Okay, all day would be an exaggeration, but it's been raining today. So finally fall is here at the end of October. I'm just happy we didn't wait for November. So I thought I'd try this different technique a lot of other 3D sketching artists use, but it didn't really work out for me, so I just went back to my own technique that I feel comfortable with. So today we're remaking the ant that I made in the first video using the 3Doodler. So today we are making the ant using the RP900A. I thought this would be the actual comparison video because I would see the difference between making the same thing. I did research what an ant looks like a bit more thoroughly for this video, but maybe it was because I already researched a little bit for the first video, so I was kind of building up to it. But it didn't really matter. What mattered was the fact that I can actually draw detailed stuff with this pen. I didn't have so much control, and it took me, yeah, it definitely took less time, maybe like half the time. No, it didn't take half the time. I think it took the same amount of time. It was about an hour, both ways. But for the first ant, it doesn't really justify an hour. Even though it turned out cute, but not for an hour's worth of work. So I'm building out the sections, and then I'm adding the sections to the sketch, and then I kind of join it using the pen. I love how this part of the ant looks a little bit like intestines. I don't know. If you Google the anatomy of an ant, that's what it looks like. The middle part looks like intestines. Are you wondering why I drew an ant? The thing is that I love adding stories. I love sketching out of stories. So like if something happens to me, I definitely have a visual for it. So I was sitting at my desk one day, just, I don't know, just fooling around, drawing, sketching a little bit. And it was the beginning of the week, and I thought, okay, let's start this week in an awesome way, right? So I saw my clippers next to me, and I thought, yeah, nail clipping is the perfect start to a week. How can you start a good week without clipping your nails first, right? So I picked up my clippers and I clipped my nails, and then I made sure all of my nail clippings were in the small trash can I have on my desk. It's a tiny one, like a 15 centimeter high trash can with a 7 centimeter diameter, something like that, if you want to have the visual. So I threw my nail clippings in there, and then I noticed like a couple of my nail clippings on the table, and I thought, oh, I must have missed these. And then I picked those up to put back into the trash can, and I noticed some ants carrying my nail clippings out of the trash can. I thought it was really funny, especially because like one ant could carry a whole nail clipping, not the whole nail per se, but I thought, wow, that's cool. It'd be really cool if you could, like, oh, that's Ant-Man. I was thinking, like, it'd be really cool if you can train ants to do stuff for you, and then you can drive people mad. Like, they would be placing something somewhere, and then you would use the ants to move that something somewhere else, drive the other person crazy. It would be a nice, like, sisterly or brotherly prank. If you have siblings, you know, like, you could drive your siblings crazy.
And even though it's a funny thought, it's already been done in Ant-Man, so I guess it's not an original thought. Doesn't matter though. Sometimes I have original thoughts, sometimes I don't. It's okay. I'm okay with it. You know what is funny about ants? They don't have lungs. That's why they can have the intestines instead of a body, because they don't have lungs. They breathe in through spiracles. It's kind of a network of tubes that help distribute the oxygen to almost every cell in their body, because they don't have enough space to have a whole system that takes in oxygen and turns it, and I don't know, somehow puts it in with the blood and whatever. They don't have enough space, so they have tubes that carry oxygen into each cell of their body. Maybe it's not that bad though, because there's not a lot of cells on their bodies. What I love most about them is that they have 2 stomachs. That's pretty cool. Like, why don't we have 2 stomachs? You can, I mean, in Cyprus, we would need 2 stomachs. Like a normal stomach for everyday stuff, and then a second backup stomach for when you visit your family or something, or your grandma. Oh, that's an international thing. The grandma stomach. That could be a thing. So now I'm sketching out the legs. I don't know if you watched the bee and the mosquito video, and I don't know if I mentioned it enough or if you realized, but I add a few extra wings on each insect because it made it look cooler. So with my ants, I added extra legs. It wasn't, for the first one, I did it because I couldn't make it stand otherwise. For this one, I could have planned it better so that it stands on its 4 feet legs. But I thought, yeah, let's go with the superimposition, right? Let's go crazy. Who cares about reality and ant anatomy and yeah, that stuff? Pretty sure nobody does. It's a joke. I know people care. I like reality, but I think it's more fun messing around with reality. Yeah, so that's why I add an extra set of legs on my ant. I love the idea of having an ant farm. I could totally do that. Like, just pour some sand between 2 sheets of plexiglass and then throw some ants in there and just watch them dig away. The only thing that is preventing me from doing that is I don't know, like, how do you care for them? Like, do you have to feed them? Have you ever had an ant farm? Sounds like a fun thing. Not for like regular people that have pets and can take care of them, but more like for people like me that cannot care for pets, but love pets. But I mean, I know I can't care for them, so And anyway, I disagree with the idea of having a pet maybe in the house. It seems cruel to me a little bit. Maybe it doesn't. Like, I would totally have a dog if I could care for it, but I can't. I know I can't care for a dog. Like, I'm not that responsible. So, yeah, I can't have a dog, but could I have ants? Do they need less care than a dog? But then why would you have a pet if you can't pet it? Maybe it's that much fun. Maybe. I don't really know because I never had one. It's not in my culture either to have this sort of pets. Like, my culture is more about the fuzzy pets. I don't know if the movies are right, but you know, people have ant farms in the US. Where do you get an ant farm? Do you find somewhere? Do you find it ready somewhere, like a pet shop? Or do you have to build it for yourself? And now I'm sketching out my nail. Okay, what I love. I used the pearl colored filament because my transparent one had not arrived yet, and I love how it came out a little bit transparent, so I can kind of see through it. I can see the ant through it, which is black, and it's probably because of the empty space between the lines. But I loved the little bit of transparency of it. Yeah. I loved making this ant. I loved making the first ant as well. I don't know, maybe I just love sketching with my pens. I'm just adding a little bit to the intestine part so that it looks cool, and that's it. The ant is basically done. But don't forget to subscribe. Next week, I'm coming up with something really cool. Not just next week, the next couple of weeks, I have a couple of really cool stuff planned out for you. So don't forget to subscribe. Press the bell button, and I'm coming back for more. No more insects for now. I promise. Just cool stuff. Bye.